previously on Divorce Court.
In our first year alone, his family would attack me, his family disrespected me, his friends didn't like me, his friends disrespected me.
A year into our relationship, she ended up leaving and cheating on me, and I didn't see her for a week.
He really wasn't supportive. A week later, after I had my miscarriage of 3 months, we were arguing and he left, and he started adding other females, looking at other females' Facebook a week after my miscarriage.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is a continuation of the matter of Jonathan Chavez versus Kelly Condori. We have discussed a number of matters, very difficult emotional situations. I have called Karima Capret here, who is Mr. Chavez's sister. A great deal of the problems in this matter, I think, is the hurt that Ms. Condori felt throughout the relationship from your side of the family, because she did not feel accepted and that she felt her son was alienated and distanced. Ms. Capret, I'm going to talk to you. Tell me a little bit about what your family felt, why they felt that way, and how your interactions with Ms. Condori evolved.
Okay. As mentioned, she came into the picture. It was pretty like surprise on all of us. He was in a relationship, which, yes, granted, we all got along with the other girl very well. I think on behalf of all of us, it was more so the affection towards the child. When a child is involved, it's hard. I'm sorry. So that's where it hurts me. You know, now you're in the same predicament. I guess it wasn't that we didn't like her, but her attitude was very, I've been in this picture. You guys just don't know who I am. I've been a high school sweetheart. You know, so that's when we were just like, we never heard of you. We don't know who you are. They felt very strongly that they didn't want us to speak with the ex. And, you know, it was hard on us, you know?
Right. Were you less than welcoming to her son, though, Ms. Condori's
Honestly,
son?
I don't believe I was.
She was.
Okay.
There's more.
Okay, Ms. Condori, why don't you tell me your version of that story, of those events?
All right, what she just said, the quote of me being a high school sweetheart, is when me and her started talking 2 years prior already in our relationship, I told her that. This is 2 years already. We're going on to a year and a half.
I got you. Tell me a little bit more about the things that his family said or did to you that made you feel so unwelcomed.
All right, it's not particularly Miss Cabret, it's more of her brothers. Her brothers were really disrespectful. They would come into the house and not give a crap about what I have to say. They would...
When you say they don't care what you say, give me an example.
As in, like, his brother came upstairs, asked him for something, and he denied it. Jonathan Chavez denied it.
Said no?
No. We closed the door, and his brother then proceeded, as my son was sleeping in this apartment, proceeded to kick the door multiple times because he was upset with what's going on. I opened the door, and I came launching because it's already 1 o'clock in the morning. You're banging in my door. My son's sleeping in the apartment. There's no need for you.
Did that happen, Mr. Chavez? You didn't take care of that situation?
We had like a railroad apartment, so her son was sleeping in the far end of the apartment. Now, my thing is, if I have we're only dating, we're only going out at this time. We're not married. If I'm having a discussion or
yeah, that's not your place.
It's not, ma'am, but that's my apartment, and my son is living there. If I would have done something like that to any of them, I would have been the bad guy.
I'm telling you what works. Your life ain't worked out. I've had 4 stepsons, a husband, 30-year marriage. I'm gonna tell you what works. It doesn't work when a new girlfriend jumps on family. Don't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cabret, I'm going to talk to you, and then I want to move forward on to another topic. Go ahead.
You hit it right on the head. That's two of the things, pretty much. One is the fact that she gets into sibling fights, which to me, and I've told her this before, I've told him, I tell my brothers all the time, we fight, we're family. At the end of the day, we're gonna start talking an hour later, 2 hours later, a day later, whatever it is. We're brothers, that's how it is. When she would get in it, I feel like now you're making it worse because now he's gonna defend you. Now he wants to fight for you. Right. You weren't even the issue. Why get in it? You know, I had an issue with him regarding the Charger incident where he came in and he was very, we're animated. So as you can see. So he was slapping his hands and talking regarding with my son, so I got in it. I said, look, I'll help you out. I got you, Gordo, I got you. Then, me and him started arguing. she got in the middle of it. And I was just like, it has
Yeah, you are
nothing to do
loud and
with
poppy
you.
family. And you get loud and you pop off.
Yeah.
And all I'm trying to say
But
to
it
you,
would
Ms.
have nothing to do with
Condori,
her.
I've been the interloper, and whenever they got into it about something that involved me, I'm tiptoeing out the back door as quick as my little feet can carry me. And I'm just saying, I'm not mad. I'm just saying, just absorb this. It's a better way to do business.
Yes.
When she would tell me like, oh, you're not defending me, or they treat me like this, obviously I would tell my brothers like, yo, you're disrespectful, and we would get into it.
Was he supportive with his family, or do you believe he really didn't stand up for you? Before we talk about the finances, I want to put a cap on the family issue, at least a little bit. My understanding is that part of the problem that the family had with this relationship is that you believe he kind of married her behind your back without telling you and not involving you in that. Tell me why you believe that.
Yeah, well, I think it is a little strange on that because they were planning a wedding with everybody.
Right.
It had a whole theme, everything. We were all
Right.
gonna dress up. It was gonna be fun, cute. Okay. All of a sudden, I guess almost a year after their marriage, once again, another fight. And it comes up, she's my wife, or he says, that's my husband, I think it was, something like that. So you guys will never know, or it was just some weird statement that we were all like, what? You got married? What do you mean? When did this happen?
Yeah, Mr.
Oh,
Chavez,
we're a
what
year now.
happened? What happened? And then Ms. Condori, I'll ask you, what happened?
A lot of people were putting input. Usually females grow up, they know what they want and how they want to get married, all these things. I'm all for it, I want to make her happy. But a lot of people, like I said, I know a lot of people, so the closer ones were putting a lot of input and trying to tell her to tweak things and stuff like that. And she just was like,
Sick of it.
we're not gonna do it. Let's just go and get married civilly.
Okay. Right.
With all this, there was still the problem with, me. I defended her. So I would me and my brothers would be always on edge with each other.
All over the wedding.
Not over the wedding.
No, this is just
several things throughout the whole
like when
time.
when she would tell me like, oh, you're not defending me, or they treat me like this, obviously I would tell my brothers like, yo, you're disrespectful, we would get into it.
Ms. Condori, was he supportive with his family, or do you believe he really didn't stand up for you?
He was supportive at some point, and then he'll like, when I talked to him about it, I just needed to talk to him about it, and he would just give me that's my family. Don't talk crap about my family. Don't talk crap about my family. And I didn't need him to go and react to it or do something about it.
You just want to vent.
Yeah, that's what I try to tell him. Like, I just want to vent to you. You're my best friend. I should be telling you these things. But he
Now,
didn't
when
want
you
to hear
vent
it.
about his family, do you vent like, I'm so frustrated with them, or like, yo, blah, 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 blah,
No,
brother?
I wouldn't.
Which way did you come?
It would be both. It wouldn't be like, your brother's this, that, and third. No, it would be like, why is your brother doing this? Like, I would tell him specific, like, which one. It wouldn't be like, your whole family's this. No, it would just be like, why is your brother's doing this? Why is your brother doing that? Why can't, you know what I mean? It would be specific, but it's just me venting to him. And then when he would defend me, it would be, we would get into arguments afterwards, because I'll be like, why did you do that?
If you want to vent to somebody about what's happening, you don't go in, why would you do that? You know what I mean? It's all about tone and tact. It's about your brothers are doing this, and I don't understand. It's hurting me. Please, you know what I mean? Because when you come with a why is somebody and what da 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 da, that's an attack on personal family. That's attack on him. He's defensive. His adrenaline starts to going, and he wants to fight. So it doesn't give you the response you're looking for. I'm just trying to help. I know you feel beaten up right now. So I'm gonna leave that alone. I want to switch topics altogether and talk about finances, and then we're going to try to conclude this in a manner that makes you not feel like you're shattered, because I don't want you to be shattered.
Every time I would give him some money, like, to pay rent, he'll be like, oh, we're gonna double it up. We're gonna double it up and I'll pay rent later. I already knew we were at $3,000 deficit because he wasn't paying rent. They're gonna ask me all these questions and I don't have the answer.
You don't have the answer,
He's the one with the answer, so
Right.
why don't you go?
Should your partner's family have a say in your wedding plans? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/divorce court. Divorce Court will be right back.
Ms. Condori, do you want to tell me about the financial problems, or will you want a minute to get it together?
No, he's doing a good job.
Oh,
He could do that too.
okay. Tell me about your financial issues.
Well, it's always been a problem. Financially, we've never really been fully stable.
Right.
We had to move out so quick out together. We put money together. But I've always been working in a relationship. As far as a 5-year relationship, I was working for about 4.5. She likes to live lavishly in the sense of like going out to eat or going to the movies. She has a son. You know, she wants to be able to dress well, decent, you know, to go to school or get haircuts or whatnot. And I would do these things. I would do these things even when we didn't have sufficient amount of income. We would get backed up in rent because I would do these things. And the fights would continue and I wouldn't be able to keep a job.
Ms. Condori, tell me how you felt in that circumstance.
The problem with our financial problems that I didn't know, like I didn't pay mind to it, is because every type of money, it could be a quarter in my pocket, he will want it. You have to give me that. Okay, I had no problem because yeah, he's right. You're my husband. If I want something, I'll ask it. I have no problem. I'll do it. You know what I mean? But if you are over here telling me, if I ask you for a $30 trinket that's gonna be laying in the house and you're like, okay, let's go buy it, and then at the end of the day, you're like, we have no money because you wanna live like this and you wanna buy that, yeah, it's gonna be an issue. You have to let me know. You have to communicate with me and let me know where we at in money-wise, so I'm not asking for things. Or you could just easily be like, no, babe, we can't afford it. And I would understand because we have to pay rent. Yes, I'd rather.
Now, were you big man in it and big time in it? You know, you asked
not
for
that I was
something.
big man in it.
Were you ever just say, hey, babe, you know, I haven't got it? Or were you big time? Yeah, baby.
Occasionally, I would tell her we didn't have it, especially when I wasn't working. And that was the problem. Like, I would have these jobs and she would cause arguments at 3, 4 in the morning, knowing I had to wake up at 6 in the morning, and feuded arguments, kick me out, where I have to be up at 6 in the morning to
go to work.
To work. And then there was even one time that she had to go to an appointment for housing, and she told me to go, and I was in the middle of break, and I was like, I can't make it. You know, I mean, you're not working. You could go a little late to work because at that time she was working,
But she didn't go, or what happened?
She said she's not gonna go, and that I have to go because at the end of the day, if not, then
What happened there, Ms. Condori?
He wasn't paying rent as it was. He kept giving me the runaround every time I would give him some money, like to pay rent. He'll be like, oh, we're gonna double it up. We're gonna double it up and I'll pay rent later. I'll pay rent later. And I was like, okay. Now at this point, I didn't wanna go to the housing appointment because I already knew we were at $3,000 deficit because he wasn't paying rent. So how do you expect me to go show face and they're gonna ask me all these questions and I don't have the answer?
You don't have the answer.
He's the one with the answer, so why don't you go and show face?
I got you. I'm gonna turn to the money that you're asking for. I'm gonna talk about the things that you want her to return to you, address that briefly, and then I'm gonna say as much as I can say to help as much as I can.
How should you communicate if your partner's family is difficult? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back.
All right, you're asking for $8,000 from Ms. Condori because you say that when you left, she kept your clothes, and you were unable to get dressed and go to interviews, so consequently you've been out of work for 16 months because out of spite she kept your clothes away from you. Is that accurate?
It's more like 6 months. It wasn't,
6 months?
Yeah, it was 6 months.
6 months.
6 months, not 16, yeah.
Oh, you know you're right. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ms. Condori, you say, yeah, you might have hung on to stuff too long, but it's not my problem. He can't find some clothes and get a job, correct?
He has his stuff in my basement because he has no space in his mom's house. He could come any given time to come and pick it up. He wants to pick it up when I'm not there, and he wants to pick it up when we're arguing. And he's like, I want to go get my stuff. Okay, you get your stuff. Can you please bring a police escort though? That's all I ask him. We've been separated for a month and a half. His stuff has been in my house for a month and a half.
I'm not gonna give you any money because even if you gotta borrow some money and get a suit, one suit, go interview.
Right.
She's not responsible for the fact that you don't have a job. I am gonna write an order that within 2 weeks you are gonna be able to pick up your clothes with a third party. Are you comfortable with her coming?
But I want him to pick up all his stuff.
All his stuff. You get your stuff together. If you got to borrow money from her, you got to borrow money from some brothers who've got to borrow money from some mama. Get a little something together. Get it together within 2 weeks. You're gonna pick it up. You're gonna give her at least a week's notice, okay? You're gonna call and you're gonna let him in, and she's gonna be there, and we're gonna do an order to that. Now I wanna talk. Mr. Chavez, I think that you're more culpable than you claim. I think that you give as good as you get. I think that she's a very emotional person, but I think you get right in there with her and tangle, as opposed to being above it, calm, cool. If you have a very emotional person in your life, it is incumbent upon you not to be equally emotional. You come in here, you all rational and this, that, and the other, but I don't think you run rational with her. I think you give as good as you get. I really, really do. I really, really do. And you think you should because she takes you there. She upsets you. You get emotional. Men always say, I'm not emotional. Yeah, when you're angry, that's an emotion. She cries, oh, she's all emotional. And I don't like it. That's an emotion too. That's just your emotion, okay?
Got you.
Ms. Condori, I want you to feel better. I want you to feel safer, and I want you to feel more secure. And the sign of a person who is solid and safe and has a hard, meaningful center is a person who's not upset all the time. I think you get very hurt very easily. I think that in response to that hurt, you get very angry very quickly. You feel very distraught about how dare somebody make me feel this way or that way without empathizing at all on their end, how they're feeling, because you're so overwhelmed with how you feel. You're not a bad person. You're just young. You're a little immature, and you're very, very distraught. And what you need to do is control you, to handle who you are, how you feel. The world will rock and roll as the world rocks and rolls. People will do the wrong thing. People will feel this way, but you've got to have a center that is so strong and so stable and so secure, it can't knock you over. You could get sad, but it won't take you over. You with me on that?
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to feel empowered and strong. You're beautiful. You know what I mean? Whoa. Are you with me? That's what I'm trying to hand you. Ms. Capret, I think you read it correctly. She needs a lot of love and care. I hope that you remain in her life in that way. And Mr. Chavez, when you deal with her, remember what I said about leveling up. You with me?
Yeah, definitely.
Level up. Good luck to you both. There will be no recovery in this matter other than the order for the pickup of the clothes within 2 weeks in the company of Ms. Capret. I will give you an order in that regard, and this matter is adjourned.
It is what it is now. It's a little late. At the end of the day, we could have probably taken a little slower, more communication between us on what we wanted.
It's been 15, since we were 15. So yeah, he's my best friend. He's all I know.